What is up guys, DYVN here, and we just got some super exciting news from Native Instruments. The Standalone Maschine Plus has just been announced. As I just said, it's called Maschine Plus, and in this video we're gonna go over all the details, the specs, the price, when it's gonna be available, what it is capable of, and the whatnots. Also, at the end of the video I'm gonna order my unit, so stick around for that. Now drop a like, leave a comment if you're excited. Let me know if you want to get the Maschine, if you're even interested, or if it's just like meh. Do you already own one of the MPC standalone units? And of course, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more content on beat making and Maschine. Let's dive in.
Dive in to the beat.
By the way, this is the first type of video like this that I'm doing, but this is also probably the most exciting gear announcement that I can think of in the past couple of years. I've been a Maschine user since 2015, since the MK2 Micro, so naturally I've been waiting for this to happen for quite a while now. So let's get started by going over a few details here on the Native Instruments website. Meet Maschine Plus, the workflow, the sounds, no computer necessary. Pre-order now. Now that's what we're gonna do at the end of the video. But let's just click it and see what we'll see. By the way, I'm a little sick, and by a little I mean very sick. I can hardly talk, so drop a like to appreciate me doing this video. I also got not one, but 2 mugs of tea here. I came prepared. All right, there it is. Standalone production and performance instrument. The workflow, the sounds.
There's no computer necessary.
I think most of it is what we've already know. Those of you guys who already use an MK3, like 99% of all of that is pretty much the same, but not the exact same thing. I guess most of you have already seen a couple of videos on it, but we're just gonna go over it this real quick. Pad layout, the buttons, everything the same. We've got a power button now on the file and save button. Other than that, displays are the same. What is different is, for once, it is a standalone unit, so you don't need a computer, which I'm super excited about. I personally don't own a laptop, so I just got my Mac Mini standing here. And other than that, on the go, I usually use my iPad using Beatmaker 3, but I'm a Maschine head. I've been using Maschine for the last 5+ years. I think it's been 6 years almost. So this is what I've been waiting for quite a while. I might also add, I've tested a demo unit of those, so I've seen it before in real life and it looks and feels amazing, at least the unit that I got my hands on. Thank you, Siri. So, what did they pack into it? Power under the hood. Maschine Plus packs a quad-core processor and 4GB dual-channel DDR4 RAM. That means more tracks, more sounds, and more effects. That's also one of the differences between the Maschine Plus and the MPC standalone units. The Maschine does not have any restrictions as far as I'm concerned in terms of amounts of tracks that you can make, whereas the MPC units, as far as I know, can only do 16 tracks. And also in terms of effects and the amount of effects you can rack onto one pattern, one scene, is also unlimited here. Soak your sounds in reverb or leave them dripping with delay as much as you need. Oh yeah. Let's have a quick look at the material. So when we look at the material, the Maschine MK3 comes in a plastic housing, which is cool. Like, it looks amazing, but it isn't super duper. Like, I wouldn't throw it in a backpack without thinking about it, you know? So what they changed on the Maschine Plus is that it comes in an aluminum housing, which looks super sturdy and rugged. And having beta tested one of those units, it did feel super nice. It's like cold metal, aluminum, feels super durable. Only time will tell if it is, but seems cool. They also exchanged the knobs and like the big knob here to a metal knob, so that's gonna be really cool. And I don't see any reason why not to just like take it and put it in a backpack. Next up, do it standalone. Standalone means more focus, more freedom, and more music making. Plug in, power up, and get creating straight away in the embedded Maschine Plus product environment, from first ideas to finished tracks. Dial in effects to tweak your sounds or sample audio and make it your own with the intuitive interface designed to keep the creative juices flowing. Oh yeah. And if you want to bring your ideas into a DAW, copy them over and boot up your Maschine software on your computer to pick up where you left off. Which means you can just sketch out an idea or bring it as far as you can on the Standalone, plug it into your computer, and then just keep working on the same project, which I think is super dope. Which basically brings us directly to what can it do and what can it not do. It can do, or it has 9 instruments, 35 effects, and thousands of sounds on board, so straight out of the box. And it comes with 7 expansions, out of which you can actually choose 2 of your own, which is pretty cool. I use the Maschine expansions quite a lot, so that's gonna be cool. I'm not even sure if there's any that I don't have yet that I really need. So it includes Massive, FM8, Monarch, Prism, the Maschine Factory Selection, ROM, and Faces as 2 effects. And I've already seen there's like retro machines as well, which I use a lot. I use Contact a lot, and there's like at least like a small section of Contact. I'm really interested in seeing which instruments there are usable out of the Contact section. I hope like some electronic piano or something will be included. FM8 is dope, that I use that a lot. I mean, the fact that there's Massive working on that thing, which I personally don't use a lot, but that's just crazy, you know. And Monarch, super dope. I use Monarch for bass lines very often if I don't use this guy. Of course, you can still like just old school sample and sequence stuff, so you can just go ahead and what I do in my workflow, use samples that you put in there from external sources and just do that. One more thing that it can do, it introduces those clips, which are like a new way to arrange your tracks. It means you're not stuck in scenes with patterns like this blocky system anymore. You actually also now have a way to put clips in between your scenes, so transitions will be much nicer. Something which I personally probably don't, let's say I didn't have much of a need for it because I've learned to work around that, but something that I appreciate a lot coming to the Maschine. I've just recently like started arranging a couple of tracks in Logic again, which I used to use before Maschine, like 6 years ago. Man, that was quite some fun because it's just like, it's more like this, you know, instead of like this. So definitely cool to see that come into the Maschine. Now, what can it not do? It does not support external VSTs, so no Waves plugins, no Sound Toys plugins for me or for you. I don't use a lot of them. I don't use a lot of external VSTs. I'm in love with the Maschine, with the onboard selection of effects and plugins. But I would love to see maybe like those plugins that are NKS standard to come to the Maschine Plus someday. I'm sure the guys at Native have something they're trying to figure out there. If not, if any one of you guys is watching this, please do. But I mean, you probably hear that from everyone. Something it also doesn't have, as maybe compared to a MPC Live or MPC Live 2, it does not come with an included battery, so you would need to plug it into an external battery. But I've also already seen it brought up that that's actually not too bad, because I mean, one of the reasons many laptops don't age super well over the years is that you need to replace your battery at some point. So you can just, you know, get a new external battery hassle-free. So I think that's not too bad, but it is of course an extra amount of cash you need to spend on it. What it does do, since we got this lovely picture here right now, it does have a plug in the back to connect to power, and you can turn it around so that it's locked. So you can basically pull it out of your Maschine while you're recording something and someone steps on your cable and your entire project is messed up. So that is something I really appreciate, like that they thought of those little things, you know. You also got USB-A ports in the back to put in a hard drive, which I think is cool. Maybe USB-A is, at least to me, it seems kind of legacy, but then again, I do have a USB-A hard disk sitting right in front of me here, so I still use it. Though I wish it would have been more USB-C. And the SD card, of course, slot on the side here. Questions that I still know nothing about is, can you pair it with the Maschine Jam? Can you pair it with a MIDI controller? How about these things? If you guys know something about that, let me know down in the comments, because I'm also still like looking around, gathering intel on the product. And now, last but not least, availability and the price. Well, it is 1,300 euros or $1,400. That is quite hefty. To me, honestly, it's less than I expected. I expected a 1,500 price tag. So I'm kind of positively, I know I shouldn't be by a price tag this high, but I'm just kind of positively surprised there. If you just look at it as what it is, of course, it's quite a high price, but when you compare it to maybe getting a new MacBook plus a Maschine, it's cheaper. Of course, that combination can do more. Of course, that would have better specs, but I think the specs are fine. 4 gigabytes of RAM isn't a lot. It's definitely below industry standard with 8 gigabytes in most laptops nowadays. But you also need to consider that there won't be Safari running in the background with 25 tabs open, out of which 15 are buffering YouTube videos, plus Slack running in the background, eating up 50% of your CPU power. So honestly, I think 4 gigabytes of RAM will be fine, since you won't be handling that many processes simultaneously. And I'm also sure, which brings us back to the price, they've done a lot of testing internally. I'm sure they figured out what's gonna power the machine just enough to give you enough power that you need to keep the price tag as far down as possible, as little as some of you might believe that. And I'm sure it'll work fine. Also, price-wise, I think we need to consider that a lot of research and development has gone into this product. You don't release a product like that overnight. I mean, this is a computer and a controller in one device. So that does not get developed overnight. So what you do pay is basically for the people who develop that. I don't think the profit margin will be super high on that, but that's just me. I don't know anything about that, really. What do you guys think? Is it too high priced, or do you say that does not scare me off? I'm just gonna get one of those anyways. Let me know down in the comments. And before we jump into my own purchase of the Maschine, let me just give you some final conclusive thoughts. To me personally, this is the device I've been looking for forever. So I was literally last Wednesday, today's Wednesday, I was literally in the music store last Wednesday looking at MPC 1 and MPC Live 2, trying to figure out which one to get. I was seriously considering that. So that was just lucky to me that I didn't spend my money on a product that I've never used before. I'm sure these are also great products. Do you guys use one of those? But to me, it's just Maschine all the way. I've used it forever, so I'm just really happy. And I don't want to get a laptop because I feel like my setup is always here in the studio like this, so I don't need to move around stuff. My computer is always sitting on my desk. Everything is always ready to go. And whenever I do want to do something on the go, I don't want to have that same experience because it's never going to be the same anyways, like in my fixed studio. So for me, I'm super duper excited. I can't wait for this. It's 3 weeks. It's gonna be released on October 1st. So yeah. Now let's buy me a new Maschine. Buy now. I can't believe I'm doing this right now. Add to shipping cart. This is really exciting right now. Oof. There's a little wheel turning around, waiting for payment confirmation. Thank you for your order! We have booked your order successfully. An email confirmation has been sent too. Delivery delay possible. The order will be processed manually by our staff. The dispatch of the goods may therefore be delayed by 1 to 2 business days. We apologize for the inconvenience and ask for your patience. Well, luckily I live like 2 kilometers away from the Native Instruments headquarters, so if I don't get it after 2 business days, I'll just knock on their doors and be like, hey, what's up? I'm waiting for a standalone device. Don't worry, I'm not gonna do that. Cool. I'm excited, I'm happy, I'm sad because my money for the next couple of months now is gone, but I'm mostly excited. Thanks for watching, guys. Stick around, subscribe, hit that bell for more beat making and Maschine content. Peace.